Hey, if you've recently gone through a divorce or a separation and you're feeling absolutely frozen, like you can't make a decision, you don't want to deal with the paperwork, deal with answering any questions, the messages, and you're just feeling really stuck and frozen, stick around. This video's for you. So you probably feel like you need to get on with things. Maybe you're fed up with telling yourself, I should really get around to stuff. I should sort my life out. But the truth is, when you're going through a divorce, it's a lot. And your body doesn't suddenly go into, I'm going to sort my life out in planning mode. It goes into protection mode and it freezes. So you may have heard of the fight or flight response when like something happens to us, we respond, and that's quite often called the fight or flight when we're in a defensive mechanism. But there's actually five Fs, and one of them is freezing. And so if you imagine a small animal roaming around the desert and this big eagle or whatever something comes over, it might freeze, kind of play dead a bit. And that's essentially what we do when we're in certain situations. Instead of fighting or flighting, we actually can freeze, and that is quite a common response. So instead of running away from things, getting busy, getting on with stuff, we just freeze. And you could be frozen for quite a while, like months or even years. So you know you've got things to do, but you just can't get yourself to do it. You might stare at your emails for an hour, you might just have a pile of letters that you haven't got around to opening, and you keep putting decisions off. Maybe every option feels too much. So the house, the paperwork, the decisions, everything kind of gets stuck, and you feel like you're not making any progress with anything. And then, of course, you start judging yourself because you should be getting on with it. You start labeling yourself as weak or lazy or incapable. You may feel like you're falling apart, but you're not. So, as we discussed in last week's video, and watch that if you haven't. Like, divorce can feel like the end of the world. It's like all of your identities fall away. You can be in that space of not knowing who you are anymore. So you may be arguing with your ex, trying to sort out the family, having difficult conversations, trying to make decisions, deal with the paperwork. There's a lot to do. And that's a huge amount for anybody to deal with, but especially if you're going through an emotional situation on top of that. So when your body's feeling overwhelmed, one of the safest things it can do is just freeze and do nothing. But because your system is trying to protect you from everything going on, it feels too big, too painful, too much. Now, often with freezing, there can be a fear underneath. It's fear that's kicked us into that fight, flight, freeze, faint. There's another F. Or keep it PG. Uh, but there's quite often the fear underneath it that's causing this. So you may be thinking, what can I afford now? I want to make sure I make the right choices. What if I regret this? Am I going to cope on my own? What if I lose things? If you've lost stuff in your life, you've lost your relationship, maybe you've lost your home, your kids, things are different now, and you are in that state of maybe losing things. You don't want to lose anything else. It doesn't feel safe to make decisions, even small ones, in this time. But of course, the longer you leave it, the more pressure there is, the more you feel the pressure, you don't feel like you're coping, you feel more guilty, you feel more overwhelmed, and the freezing continues. So you get kind of in a loop. So what we want to do is to get out of this loop. So to get out of freezing, there's no way of kind of bullying yourself out of it. You've got to start taking small steps. So your nervous system feels like it's not under attack if it does something. So start small. Just ask a question. Okay, what's one thing I can get done today? What's the smallest thing I can do today? So, not trying to fix your whole life, not trying to fix your divorce in a day, but one small thing that you can do that would help you feel a little bit more supported. Maybe it's opening one letter, maybe it's responding to one email. Maybe it's asking your best friend to come and sit with you while you take a phone call. Maybe it's doing something that contributes to your body. Maybe going for a walk, eating some nourishing food, cooking a good meal, giving yourself permission to rest. And these small steps, they add up and they really help your nervous system to know that you're okay, that you're feeling okay, and that you're not under attack. And slowly it's going to feel safe to start moving again and getting into more action. Now, nervous systems are interesting, and most of the documents we have, textbooks, everything, only looked at men's nervous systems till recently. Women's nervous systems run differently. So men work on dopamine. They like doing things and ticking things off. That activates them. For us ladies, it's having a great conversation, building a relationship, having nice things and experiencing nice things, that calms us down and makes us feel good. So we have to honor the fact that we are wired a little differently. So your body won't be seeking to be doing a lot, especially when you're dealing with a lot. So what would feel good for your body? That is a great thing. What would be fun for you? What would feel good for your body? And do some of that every day. You don't have to solve everything at once. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to map out your whole future. You just have to take that next step. So, finding someone to talk to that understands. So, you could go to a therapist or a practitioner, or book a session with me if you want. But having someone to talk to who understands is absolutely key. There's no shame in needing support when your whole life is up in the air and changing. You need it. Now, when we're frozen, it's really hard to listen to the intuition, and that's the thing that us ladies rely on a lot. The fear is overwhelming everything, and we're not listening to our hearts and our intuition. So, you need to feel safe again for that to start opening up. So, you don't need to force yourself to start listening and doing things, but you may begin to notice what feels lighter, what feels calmer, what feels a little bit more supportive. That's often where your next step will be. That's often where your next step begins. If you're going through a separation or a divorce at the moment and you're feeling emotionally stuck, you're frozen, there's nothing wrong with you. Your body is trying to protect you. Now, if you want to book some sessions with me to get some healing and help you feel unstuck and get through some of the backlog of things to help you feel better, you're more than welcome to. I'll put the information below. But ladies, if you want to join my free community called Ease Within, we've got some lovely, beautiful sessions called Stepping into Love. These are series that I've done around healing our hearts, our romantic relationships, but also our relationship with ourselves, which could be taking a little battering during this. And these are free series of sessions that you can do in your own time. And a lot of people fall asleep listening to me, but they're there for you to help clear some of this baggage and backlog. So please remember, freezing is not wrong. It's your body trying to support you and make you feel safe in these difficult times. So find someone to speak to, get some help and support, because you will get through this a lot quicker with some helping hands. Okay, take care. Lots of love. Bye.